Alright, my name is Jonathan. I'm doing a video on the Pulse Wave 2.4 gigahertz receiver. This basically is a receiver for your pinhole camera, and what happens is I made this receiver so I can get a longer range out of it. It's hooked up to a USB cable. You basically take this, you hook it up to your computer, and it powers the motor in here. Yeah, there's a glare with the camera. So I'm going to open this up. It's very simple. You screw it down, and you basically have a test tube antenna, which is here. You can make that out of anything. You've got the pulse wave generator, which is here. I'm going to show you how that works in a second. And then you've got 3 LEDs here. You can get that at hackandmod.com. The 3 clear green LEDs. It's a 2.4. This board right here with this tuner is basically the 2.4 gigahertz pinhole receiver for the camera, and then you got your jacks which go into your TV and your plug outlet. This right here is the regular antenna, which I actually got. I made like 2 different videos for this, but YouTube said it was too long. One was like half hour. That's how long it took me to explain what pulse wave generation is. So basically you have a test tube antenna here. I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to show you how this works too. Basically increase the range. So to make it easier, I got a blackboard to show you. So we go here, we have the receiver. You have, the antenna is always 2 pieces. You have the smaller one, which is on the inside, which has the line, and it goes up, and you've got one over that. That makes a complete antenna. So I'm actually going to draw this for you. You've got the bidirectional antenna. You've got the first part, which is going to be in here, and I'm going to label these for you. It's circular, and the second part always goes outside of that, to basically, so you can actually use that, so it becomes one complete antenna. And some of them are bidirectional that look like this, with larger coil wires inside of here. Now what's basically going to happen is, this is your receiver. It plugs into the unit. You've got 8 to 9 volts going to it. You got the part that goes in your TV, the yellow and white wire. Now my pulse wave antenna uses a motor, which is here, and I plugged that motor and I hacked it up to a USB cable that gives it 5 volts. And what it does is that it spins an aluminum plastic cap. I have a plastic cap which is here, and this part right here that goes over is aluminum and smaller little pieces with it. And I took this part of the antenna and I extended it. So this part here is 1, which goes here, and this part is 2. So that basically, I don't want to show you how it goes, but it's supposed to go over there, and basically it's like that. This is how it is. The first part is basically here. It gets wrapped up right there. So we're going to go back. This is the first part. What I did is I took 12 inches of copper wire, and you can pick that up anywhere, for the smaller part, which is number 1. Number 1 always has to be smaller. Number 2 is usually that, or it could be double the size, but you never want to go that too much. You always want to be able to tune it. When you get the 2.4 gigahertz receiver, it has a tune button with it, and that can go in any direction. However, it has to be able to go beyond 180 or it won't actually work. So once you get about 12 inches of that, you wrap it up in a coil and you bring it around to something like an ice cream cone, and you bring it up. But you got to make sure you leave a hole in the center for the motor, because the motor has to be able to go right through that. You put that here. Now this is hollow. This copper wire piece, you wrap it up and you bring it up like a spring. You put it on the motor, but it cannot touch any part of the motor. It just has to sit there. And you solder that part up to your receiver. The second part, which is number 2, which goes around that, you do the same thing with it. You just put it on the top. It can't touch the aluminum. Now once that's done, it should look something like mine's. Beneath it, if you actually see, I don't have that with this camera, but if you go in here, you can see that this is a motor. The plastic cap is on the aluminum right here. This copper wire is number 2. It's on the top. this bottom wire here, you can actually trace that antenna piece back all the way here to the part of the board. So once that's connected, you'll be good. And that part basically there hooks it up, runs all the way down to the USB wire. Now I'm going to plug this into a laptop and I'm going to show you how it works. Basically, it's really simple. So we're going to plug this in. Alright, now it's plugged in. Now, it's making a lot of noise, but when you cover it down, it's making less noise. You can barely hear it. The green LEDs are lit up. The motor is spinning. That's why you hear it. Now, it's making less noise. This cannot touch it. If it does, it's going to do that. You don't want it to do that. That's all. That's it. That's all you basically need to do. You cover it down, you screw it in, you put glue around it, and it'll be a lot quieter. And then that's it. That's how pulse wave modification works. Basically, you're just taking an antenna system which is here, and you're making it larger. Alright? So that concludes this video. I put one up that was like about 27 minutes on YouTube, but they wouldn't accept it. They said it was too long, and I did a 15-minute one. It was also too long. So this is how you can do it. You can get the LEDs from different websites. This project is also made up of a project box, copper wire, a motor, LEDs, test tubes, and your receiver, which you can actually get pretty cheap. But this is to basically give you a longer range to any pinhole camera out there that you would put on a robot or a toy cam. Alright, so that's it.